Hi, this is Krista from Crafty Canada Studio, and today I'm showing you how I made these little bat shakers that I had made for Halloween. I cut them out with my X-Tool D1 machine, and I used 1/8 inch pine. I set it on basswood 5mm, and I did full strength for mine just to make sure it cut through all the way, because sometimes it doesn't. I like to put this green painter's tape on my wood just so the burn doesn't go to the top of the wood and it keeps it nice and clean. So I did these about 3.5 inches wide, and I did 3 of the outlines and 1 solid bat for the backer. And then I had this roll of acetate, so I cut a full-sized solid bat out of that as well on my Cricut machine. And if you don't have an X-Tool and you can't cut wood, you could always do this out of cardboard, just saved from cereal boxes and stuff like that. You might need to cut a few more bats out just to get the extra depth, but it works really well. I've done that. So I had this craft glue that I just got from Walmart, and I glued the top of one of my bat outlines. And then I stacked one of my other ones on top of that. Give it a good press down to seal it together. And then I used just regular acrylic paint from the dollar store, and I painted my solid bat with this. You could use patterned cardstock if you wanted. I just decided to do white so that the sequins that I used in my shaker would show up better in the video. Gave that a couple coats, dried it with my heat gun so it would dry a little bit quicker. And I like to give my paint a light sanding just to make it nice and smooth. So then I added some more glue to the bottom of my 2 stacked outline bats. And I'll stick them on top of that backer. And I ended up painting these ones. You don't have to, because they're going to get covered anyways by that top bat. And I like to use those little foam finger dabbers. I got them just from the dollar store. And I painted my top bat in the black as well. I did do the top bat with this glittery resin that I made up later on, but I don't show that in my video, but you'll see it in the last picture in the video. And some of the white from that bottom piece kind of showed through. It spilled over the edges, of course, because I can't paint anything nicely. So I just touched it up with that black paint all around the edges. I had these little bags of sequins and rhinestones that I believe I got off Temu. They're really cheap there. They've got an awesome selection. So these were some silvery black rhinestones. They're really pretty. The bag with all the little orange ones had pumpkins and bats and stuff in it, but I decided I was gonna stick with the pinks and the silvers for this one. So these pink ones I got from the dollar store. And these little silver metallic stars I had as well. I thought I'd add a few of those in because they're really pretty too. And just make sure none of them are sitting on the wood, so when you glue your top piece down, it's nice and clean and you're not going to have any sequins stuck in there. So this time I tried a glue stick around the edge because I thought it might be easier, which it was, but it kind of glopped on the edge, so that's what I'm doing there, is trying to get the glue out of the corners. And then I just added my acetate onto there. Now the acetate did stick out a little bit around the edges. I don't know if I put it on backwards or the heat from the laser maybe made the wood a little bit smaller than the Cricut cut. So I did use a lighter and I heated around the edges to kind of melt some of that acetate. I don't suggest doing that. I'm not recommending that, but if you choose to do it, then that's your choice. Just be careful. And then I remembered I had these glue pens. So I glued the bottom of the last bat, and this worked really easy. You just got to go quick so it doesn't dry before you stick it on. And that was it. That was how I finished off my shaker. I hope you like this video and it gives you some ideas, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks. Bye.